Hi, I'm Dr. Gaby Cora, and welcome to my show, Dr. Gaby's Take, Make Life Interesting. Is there anything that you've found through the years as your kids are growing, going through school, anything that you've been somewhat concerned about, or just noticed that, we need to help our kids in this situation, being a gay couple?
I think just something that comes to the top of my head is a lot of the school forms. Yeah, we've had a lot of our kids' schools change their forms because it's like mother, father, mother, father, mother, father, And I have no qualms about crossing off and putting mother, 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 mother.
Or parent one, parent two.
Yeah.
It's a different society now. There are not that many families that, are straight families that have both parents living under the same roof anymore. So the forms were changed enough to say who's the custodial parent. And then right underneath it would say, mother and father's address, assuming that they weren't the same. And so the schools, our kids, the three of them go to two different schools. And they, both schools are very, very accommodating and accepting of the change.
So
they just needed to be made aware of it,
Yes.
It was necessary.
And it's happening more and more in very many ways. The other trend that has been very interesting was my daughter once came from school, and she mentioned how she was surprised because a kid had asked her what parent she lived with, mom or dad, just because there was a very high divorce rate in her grade. So the kid did not even think that my daughter was living with both parents. How do you feel about this? Because, the divorce trends are high, and in a way you've been together for 20 years, a very stable family.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
Well, we, much like your daughter, we're seeing that too, that there are a lot of separated families and, children shuttling off between, their moms and their dads. And we are really proud of the family that we've created, and the work that Mayda and I do to keep our family together and to make sure that she and I remain close, and that our kids have a sense of permanency and hope, because we are presenting them with an additional challenge by virtue of the fact that we're two moms. And so that's something that we want to overcome. We don't want to add additional challenges to our kids. They're getting older now, so our twins are 9 and our little guy is 6, and they're among very I think forward-thinking friends, and Miami's a very forward-thinking place and very liberal, but occasionally they do get questions. They'll say like mommy and mama, because I'm mommy and Mayda's mama, so they'll say, well, call mommy or call mama, or they'll say, somehow the subject will come up. They're very open about it, as we would expect them to be and hope they would be. And then someone will say, well, why do you have two moms? Or let me call your dad, or something like that. And they're very matter of fact about it. They'll just say, I don't have a dad, I have two moms. And then someone might say, really? And they'll go, yeah. And more often than not, the kid's reaction will be, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
A nice thing about the trend that we're seeing with the new generations is they are more open.
Yes.
And we also know that kids who have at least one gay parent tend to be more open-minded and empathic anyways. So there are some studies that show that. So your kids with that trend will tend to be more empathic and open. Have you seen that as compared to other kids? Or the trend seems to bring all kids that way anyways, but
I don't know that we've seen that specifically. We just have amazing kids. We do. Of course. We, people tell us all the time that we have really delicious, loving kids. And that's what we feel too. We really feel like they're good, they're very open, they're very loving.
Do you think you may be more concerned about whether or not they are, questioned or put on the spot? Do you think that this is more your issue to protect them, or do you really believe that it's their issue at all?
It's not their issue. They don't have an issue with it because either we've taught them how to react to it or they've taught themselves. It's not something we really discuss. They've really come into it on their own, and we're so proud of how confident they are to answer questions in the way that they do. So that's a beautiful thing to see. But it's our job to anticipate and protect our kids.
As moms.
Yeah.
Of
Period.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as they go into different phases of their lives and they're surrounded by older kids, they may have more complex or more detailed questions that are asked of them, and then they need to have appropriate feedback or answers to those questions. So.
But, like you were saying, that in schools and this generation, they're a lot more open. The schools are a lot more open and are teaching, anti-bullying practices and teaching right and wrong in a good way. That helps so much, so much. I mean, it helps also that child who has been bullied also. So, it's very good.
Well, one of the great things that really probably helps the kids so much is know that you're such a solid, couple and family, that's very important for them for their self-worth anyways. So they can confront anything in a positive way, and that's a very positive part.